A honey badger is already elbow deep in the sand, and the most venomous lizard on the planet is charging straight at it. The attacker is a Komodo dragon, 5 feet of prehistoric muscle, a mouth laced with venom and bacteria, and the patience of something that has been killing things since the dinosaurs. The defender, if you can even call it that, is a honey badger, a 12-pound mammal built entirely out of stubbornness, loose skin, and the absolute refusal to acknowledge that anything in the world is bigger than it is. These two animals have no business being in the same sentence, let alone the same patch of Indonesian scrubland. And yet here we are. The badger isn't retreating, it's digging right into the Komodo dragon's nest. Let's be clear about what's happening here. This honey badger has crossed an ocean it has never seen, invaded a habitat it was never built for, and has decided without hesitation to rob the most dangerous lizard in the world of its unborn children. Back home on the dry savannas of Africa, this animal tears open beehives with its bare claws, shrugs off cobra bites like they're minor inconveniences, and has been documented fighting off lions. It doesn't have a fear response the way other animals do. Scientists believe its brain is simply wired differently. The threat detection circuits that make most animals freeze or flee seem, in the honey badger, to loop directly into aggression. So when this badger sensed eggs buried in the warm Indonesian soil, the calculation wasn't complicated. Started digging. The female Komodo dragon, watching from a few yards away, reaches a different conclusion about the situation. She moves fast, faster than anything that size has any right to move. Komodo dragons can hit 12 miles per hour in a burst, and when a mother is protecting a clutch she's been guarding for months, that burst is everything she has. Her tail whips behind her like a cable under tension. Her forked tongue flickers, tasting the air, locking onto the intruder. This is not a warning charge. The dragon is not posturing. She is trying to end this. The badger grabs an egg, actually gets it out of the ground, and then drops it in the scramble. For a single second, it turns around. It looks at the dragon bearing down on it. Any other animal in that moment is running. The badger appears to consider fighting back. You can see it in the body language, the low stance, the raised hackles, the refusal to fully commit to flight. Its survival instinct wins, barely, and it bolts. But here is what you need to understand: it doesn't go far. It doesn't disappear into the trees and count itself lucky. It circles. It watches. It starts thinking about what to do next. Because the eggs, as it turns out, are not the only food available. The badger has clocked something the dragon doesn't realize it's advertising: a fresh kill, a carcass the Komodo has already claimed as a meal. The badger shifts strategy with the kind of cold efficiency that makes this animal genuinely remarkable. The eggs are too well guarded. Fine. The food is right there. Mission pivot. It moves back in. The dragon responds the way Komodo dragons respond to everything. With escalation. She lunges. She is not chasing the badger away at this point. She is attempting to bite it, and a Komodo dragon bite is not something you walk away from easily. The venom in those glands doesn't kill instantly, but it begins degrading blood, clotting immediately, and the bacteria embedded in those teeth have historically caused fatal infections in water buffalo. But the Komodo's real weapon is its bite and wait strategy, one deep bite and then the patience to let venom and bacteria do the rest. The badger has no immunity to any of this. What it has instead is speed, lateral agility, and a body that seems to exist in a constant state of controlled chaos. It cuts left, right, doubles back, and the dragon built for ambush and endurance, not for this kind of frantic close quarters footwork, keeps missing. The badger is winning on points, but then it does something that stops the camera operator cold. It walks up to the Komodo dragon while the dragon is actively eating and takes food directly out of its mouth. Not from nearby. Not from the edge of the carcass. From its mouth. The badger grabs the prey between its own jaws, plants its feet, and pulls. The Komodo dragon, an apex predator, a living fossil, an animal that kills deer and goats and occasionally humans, pulls back and then unbelievably lets go. The badger stands there chewing. The dragon stares. This is the moment that defines the honey badger as a concept. Not the toughness, not the venom immunity, not the claws. It's the absolute psychological commitment to not giving a single inch, even when all rational information says you should. The dragon shakes it off, regroups, moves back toward the carcass. And then the badger does something no one saw coming. It calls for backup. Its partner emerges from the brush, and now there are two honey badgers orbiting a Komodo dragon with the calm confidence of animals that have done the math and like the answer. The duo works in tandem, harassing from both sides, exploiting angles, making the dragon's size a liability instead of an asset. By the time 3 more male Komodo dragons return from a separate hunt, heavy with food and disinterested in a fight they didn't start, the dragons collectively reach the only reasonable conclusion available to them. It's not worth it. They pull back. They settle. They ignore the badgers entirely. Both badgers eat. Both dragons eat. No one dies. Here is what this encounter actually reveals about the honey badger. It is not brave in the way we usually mean that word. Bravery implies an awareness of danger and a choice to face it anyway. That's not bravery. That's relentless fearlessness, something older and stranger and honestly more unsettling. The honey badger appears to operate in a different register entirely, one where danger is just a variable to be accounted for, not a stop sign. Its musculoskeletal structure means it can rotate nearly completely inside its own skin, making it nearly impossible to get a killing grip on. Its pain tolerance, studied in captivity, is extraordinary. It will take a hit to deliver one, and it will absorb 3 hits to steal your lunch, and it will come back tomorrow and do it again. The Komodo dragon is one of the last great predators that genuinely remembers a world without mammals running the game. The honey badger is proof that some mammals never got the memo about knowing their place. The dragon had the venom, the size, and the home advantage, and the badger still left with dinner.